And here we are in our 3D house start to finish using Revit software. Lesson 3, walls and roofs. We're going to start to see a little more activity in our model now that we've really done our preparation. Of course, that can all be saved in our template once again, and then we could basically start from this point on with all that previous work already sitting and waiting for us. So I'm going to go down to the underside of footing level, and I'm going to throw in my foundation walls that we've created. The first thing you always want to check, and it's a big mistake everyone makes, is you get anxious and you start drawing walls right away. Before you get in there, you've got to go in and check your properties here. And the main one you want to see here is base constraint. You want to make sure, even though we're on the underside of footing level, you can constrain the wall to whatever level you want. So we're always checking this. As well, we're checking our base offset. Top constraint, top offset. Okay. When we're placing a wall, I'm going to say that's fine. Because of the way our wall and our sweep and the bottom of our footing come together, this, I need to just jump that up by 6-inch offset from there, and we'll see that when we look at our side elevation and our section. Top constraint, I'm going to say explicit, and it's going up by 9 feet. So we can have a look now. In fact, I think I'll make that 8'6", and that should do it. So then really these four: base, offset constraint, top, offset constraint. We're going to see that throughout the rest of the few lessons. And then in this case, explicit rather than up to a certain level and then offset based on that level. We're talking with the top and the bottom of the wall that I'm going to draw. So I hit OK, and then I can just start to draw. Now, where am I drawing from? On the edge, when I draw, do I want to draw by wall center line? Okay, core, face, exterior is what I want. And I've got my chain turned on. So I'm just really clicking along my reference planes here. I'm drawing in that foundation wall. Now, we can have a look in our 3D view here. And we'll go down to here. Maybe do a ZE. We can see we've got a stray wall sitting over there. We'll just delete that. So there's the walls that we've just drawn, and then you'll notice if you zoom in a little closer, you'll get a little more detail as far as the I'll do a ZP for zoom previous. Okay, so shift and middle mouse button. Okay, so there's our foundation, no big deal. Okay, so we can go now back to our main floor. In fact, let's go have a look at that south elevation and see where that went in. Okay, right on the underside of the footing is this. Because that wall merges down inside of here, which is where I had to do the 6-inch offset, and you'll get used to having to work with that a little bit. And then from here, I want to know the distance, just for the heck of it, from here to here, and it tells me it's a foot perfectly. Okay, I did use my measurement command. So now I'm going to go back. Now I'm going to go to my main floor, draw my main floor walls. Now right now below, I can't see the foundation because my view properties, as far as what I have as an underlay, it says none. If I was to say, let's go down to the underside of the footing, for instance, in the underlay, then I would actually see those foundation walls. But I don't really want to see them because my reference planes, I'm just going to do an undo here. My reference planes are all I really need. So I'm going to draw an exterior wall. And now I'm going to draw the wall that I put my notches in. So let's see what we've got. We've got exterior second, and we've got exterior main. Let's go with exterior main. We want to go by wall, core, face, exterior. Okay. And we want to check our properties of this wall. We're starting from the main floor. Base offset. We're actually going to base offset this by -1 foot because that's what's going to work with our notch. We'll see that. Top constraint. Well, this time I want to go up to the second floor minus a foot. Okay, so it starts a foot below the main floor, but that's just where the siding will be. The actual notch takes care of that, and we'll see that. Up to the second floor, and it's going to do a clean stop, but a foot lower than the second floor, letting our joists tie in, right? So that all looks good. We hit OK. Start to draw some walls in here. My chain is turned on. All my edges are working in place. And we're done. So now we're going to continue up, and we're going to basically do the walls and then do the roof, and then we'll come back and actually do the floors. So we wouldn't necessarily wait to do the floors, but I'd rather group it all together. So we're going to go up to the second floor, and again, there is some underlay on there. I'm going to go down and go view properties. And inside of here, I'm going to see that the underlay is showing as main. I want to have no underlay. I don't want any interference at all, because I know I can, as long as I stick to these reference lines, I'm good. So now I'm going to draw another wall, and this time I'm going to do exterior second floor, which has a different notch size in it. And then I can go down here to properties. And inside my properties, I'm going to say base constraint is second floor, base offset is -1, up to second floor top of plate, which is fine, except for the offset from there is all the way up. So notice it intuitively tried to get me to do that. So again, face, okay, want to check on this again, core face exterior. So you're always checking your offset, and you're always checking your properties. So clicking my way down. Okay. Now I've got that on there. So let's have maybe a quick look at a 3D view here. We can see, oh, I'm zoomed in awful close there. Okay. I'm just kind of doing the outside. Okay. Don't worry about these horizontal lines in here. So there, and basically we've got the shape, and there's no floors in there so far, but what we do have is we have this notch here, which is where our floor system is going to go in. So that's really what we've been talking about. Now maybe I'll go over and do the garage, and we'll throw a roof on here, and then we'll come back and we'll do the floors and maybe a bit more of the roofs in another lesson. So let's go to the garage slab level. Okay, inside of here I'm going to draw some foundation walls, but they're going to be a little different from my last foundation walls. So in fact, we need to be not at the to do the garage foundation wall, we need to be at the garage underside of footing. So we'll go to garage underside of footing level in here, and then I'm going to go into pick my wall, and foundation wall looks good. I'm going to check the properties of that, and I'm going to go base constraint is garage underside of footing. Base offset is the 6 inches, again compensating for the merge of the wall in that sweep. Top constraint explicit, and I'm going to go up by 4, and it would be 4, but I'm going to go 4'2" again, and hit OK on that. And now I'm just going to go in and place my walls. And you can see the snaps are showing up there for me. And then over to here. And that looks good. Let's have a look at our 3D view. Okay, there's our garage slab, our garage foundation wall. And for instance, we could go have a look at the south elevation here again. Okay, there it is, underside of garage to garage slab. So we're getting ready to do that. Now let's just have a look up here at the second floor top of plate. And we'll just put kind of a plain Jane roof. Actually, we need to go back to our foundation wall. We're not done there, are we? Now we're going to go back to garage slab, and we're going to put some walls in there. So we'll go to wall. We're going to do the wall exterior second floor style. We're going to check the properties of that. And that's going to start from the garage slab, base offset of -1 with the notch. Top constraint is going to go up we're going to go up to the garage, slab, and offset by 9 feet. And what that will do is tie the top of the wall all into that garage slab. So that way we can move our garage slab level and all of that will update. So we'll try that out. We'll hit OK. And now we'll start to face of core exterior is fine, and we'll start to draw our garage slab walls. Highlighted walls, oh, there's an overlap, that's fine. And we'll continue drawing walls. We'll click on over here, go down to there. And then we need to zoom in here and move this guy over a little bit. And we need to move from here to there. Okay, I've placed the garage walls around, and what's happened is they don't seem to be, I've zoomed in a little bit and had a look, and they didn't come in on the right on my reference plane here. And I'm noticing I'm not even really seeing the different layers within my wall here. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go right click, I'm going to go to view properties, and I'm going to change my my detail level from coarse to be medium, for instance. And we're going to see more detail in our walls. So we can see what's happened with this wall in here. So I'm just going to, in this case, I'll just move it from here to here, which is not a big deal. And it moved that wall with it. So I'm going to undo that because those walls seem to be attached. So I'm going to click on that wall, and I'm just going to bring that, drag that back a little bit to start with. And now that I've dragged that back, I'm able to take and move that wall from that face down to here. Okay, it's no longer attached to this wall. And then when I take this, for instance, and I drag that over to here, back on track. So just a little bit of extra work that we had to do because our walls didn't go in exactly the way we wanted them to, which is fine. So I'm going to do a ZE for zoom extents, and now I'm just going to zoom in on this area over here and see what's going on. I think I ended up with the same problem. So not everything comes out perfect the first time. I'm going to repeat that exercise. I'm going to grab that grip. I'm going to slide that back to there to start with. And then I'm going to move this wall. And I say move, and I'm going to see the different faces highlight. My core layer, move that to there. Okay, and then I can grab this. And I can bring that over to there. And that's looking much better. And do a ZP for zoom previous. Wheel and mouse over here. Let's check this, see what's going on. This one looks like it's on the right face. We can see our reference line and everything is good in there. So I'm going to wheel out a little bit more. Get ready to put some roofs on here. So there's our walls. Maybe we'll have another quick look at our 3D view here. Okay. Now, of course, we haven't really got fancy or anything yet here, but of course there's nothing stopping us from shading with edges, and you can start to see how things are going to develop in here. And we can change the color of our exterior sheathing here. That's the first thing that I usually do, is go into settings. I'll just sub out of our top, go into material, and I'm going to go to wood sheathing. And wood sheathing plywood, I'm going to change that color to be, oh, I don't know, just something a little bit darker. Get a bit more, not so much glow on it. We hit OK. And then we go back to here and back to shading with edges. Oh, that didn't stick, huh? We'll have to come back to that materials. So now we're going to go and put a roof on. So we'll go up to the second floor top of plate. Okay, and we can see we're going to go visual and view properties, and our underlay is our second floor, which is fine. We want to see that. Roofs are pretty easy. We just go into roof here. We say roof, in this case, by footprint, not by extrusion, which would be like a little canopy you might do over your front door. We'll try that as well. So roof by footprint. And of course, we're into now sketch mode where your objects get grayed out. You can't edit them, and now you get into this unique form that Revit uses, where you use, and the lines are burgundy or maroon, and you sketch in a kind of a profile and turn it into the roof. And when you want to edit it, you come back and you click on it and you say edit sketch, and you come back into this mode. So now we have an extra properties, but we have a roof properties. You can see these red buttons down here, roof properties. So we want to go into roof properties and say base level is top of plate, second floor. Plumb cut, we can change how we want to cut the end of that. Fascia depth, we're going to add that a little bit later. So there's not really a lot that we put in here at this point. So that all looks good, just really the level. And we're going to change the offset to be 2 feet. And now what I can do is, depending on which side of the wall, obviously I want my roof on the outside. I'm just going to go around, I'm going to click on here. Going to add those lines in for me. This symbol designates the fact that it's sloped. So in fact, all of these would be a hip roof, would all be sloped. For instance, I don't need the back of the house to be sloped. So I'm going to hit escape to get out of that command. Then I'm going to click on this object. Had to hit escape, no slope on that one. And for instance, to start with, I can change this at any time. No slope on there, and no slope for you either. So then we have that. We'll be sloping up this way, and we will say finish roof. Now, just a second. I'm going to change, make sure this, what is the slope, you say. So I go over to this one. Now I'm going to use my tab button again, which holding the tab button in, just hovering over, not even pressing with my mouse, lets you do chain selection of all objects, not just lines, walls, and other stuff too. So tab, and then I click, selects all those objects. I'm going to go in now to the properties of those objects, and I'm going to say, okay, the slope of that is 12. And the reason why it's grayed out is because not all these walls have slope. I need to click only this one, and this one, and this one. Now the properties are going to let me do slope, and 9 and 12 is actually not bad. Let's go 8. Hit OK. I'm going to say finish my roof. It's going to finish my roof. Now, because of the cut line above that second floor plate, it's trimming. This is really the roof in section is what you're seeing here. So I might go into here, view properties under this one, for instance, and go to view range and take the cut plane offset from my current level and bump that up to be about, maybe 18 feet above. Now I'm going to hit OK, and now I'm going to see my whole roof because of the cut plane being raised above. So now I can go back maybe to my 3D view in here, and I'm starting to see my house take shape. I want to join these up with that. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to say attach top bottom. I'm going to click the roof. It's going to click up to there. Okay, I could have did this when I created it. It gave me that option. Now I'm going to click on this wall, and I'm going to attach top bottom up to there. And then I'm going to click on that one's fine. And what I need to do is go in and append that wall just on the second floor. So we'll go back to that a little bit later. So we'll just continue here. We'll say OK. Now we're going to grab this particular wall here, and we're going to say attach top bottom, and we'll click up on the roof over there. Okay, so we've got the back wall looking all right. Now we have to deal with that bit of a problem we've got at the front. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to hit escape, get out of here. I'm going to do a shift middle mouse button, move myself around here, and have a look at this void in here. Now there's a couple things. There's a little space in here which makes me think that I should have done these two different roofs separately. Do this high roof and then do this roof, and then extend this roof to this roof, and it'll actually come up against this gable wall, which we are going to put in manually up high. So we're going to do a couple things in here. The first thing we're going to do is click on this roof. We're going to say edit sketch. You're going to see those burgundy lines come back again. So from there, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to delete this, and now I'm going to just trim these guys here. This guy and this guy. And let's just do that from the second plate level here. Switch over to there. So we can maybe do grab these two guys and trim them together. Now, I can say, okay, go back to my 3D view, which I was at. Wasn't liking that fillet command in there. And then I can say finish roof. Highlight walls are attached, but do miss the highlight. That's okay. Okay, so we want to detach that, perhaps. Detach top, bottom. Okay. So now we've got one separate roof, and then we'll do this piece of roof separately. So we'll go back to our top of plate, and what we'll do here is we'll do another roof. So we'll go click in here and we'll say roof by footprint, and we'll go with our 2-foot offset, and we should just check our properties here. Roof properties, top of plate, everything looks good. So I'm going to go here, here, and then here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do a trim. I'm going to do those two guys themselves. Trim this. Oops, I need another line. Copy that from here to there. You always have to have a closed polygon when you do a roof sketch, or a lot of these sketches. Now, where do I want my slopes? Well, click this guy and this guy. I don't need a slope on there. I need slopes on those two guys there. Okay, finish roof. Okay, let's go back to our 3D view. We've got two different roofs. Now we can, you see we've got a much better condition here, and we can also join these two roofs together. So the next thing I'm going to do is go to my top of plate just to get that gable wall, because if we do go back there, that's working okay. The only thing is we can fix this condition by saying attach top bottom and click onto there. That's not a problem, but now we need to fill that space in. So I'm just going to go to my top of plate plan here, and I'm going to draw a piece of wall across there and attach that to the top bottom. So I'm going to zoom in here a little bit closer, and I'm going to draw a wall, and I'm going to make it exterior second floor wall, and I'm going to check the properties of this wall, and I'm going to see the properties are on the top of plate, second floor, base offset is 0. Top constraint, I'm just going to go explicit, and I'm going to make it just 3 feet looks good, and then I'm going to extend it up manually, or sorry, automatically. So I hit OK. So now I'm drawing my wall, and I'm going by core face interior. So let's go down into here. So core face interior to me would be here, and I'm just going to draw that in. Okay. And my detail level in here is also not showing me enough, so I'm going to go into here and say, give me medium detail so I can see which side of the wall. I'll change my to fine detail perhaps. We're going to see. So that I see that wall there needs to be flipped over to there. That looks a little bit better. There's my stuff. So now I'm just going to extend that piece of wall, which is up sitting really high. And I'm just going to extend it over by gripping it and dragging that straight up over to there. Okay. Now I can go back to my 3D view, for instance. There's that little piece of wall in there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab that little guy and say attach top bottom. I'm going to pick there. It's going to do that for me. Okay. Now let's see what's going on over here. Oh, so there is a little peak in the back of that. Okay, now that's because those are on two different roof slopes. There's something funny going on there. So let's get into this. Click on this roof, and I'm going to say edit sketch, and I'm going to click on this guy and click on this guy, and I'm going to check their slope by going into the properties of those objects, and they're should be only 8 and 12. Finish roof. Now we've got a nice clean. You see how manipulating this in 3D is so nice, and then we can join these roofs together. Okay, look at that. We've done exactly what we want. So I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to say attach geometry, and I'm going to pick on there and pick on there. Now those two pieces of geometry are attached. And again, I'm going to make another attempt at trying to fix my colors on that siding because it's awful bright. Settings, materials. I'm going to go update when accurate. That's fine. And that is wood sheathing plywood. I'm wondering why it's not updating. Usually that will work and get us a little better view. So let's just throw a roof onto the garage. I think we need to put a new level in. So let's go down to the south view and let's add a new level in here. Let's go level. Let's add a level right on there over to here. Now why that didn't jump right on there, I'm not exactly sure. But we're going to take that and we'll move that. We want this to be 9 feet, do we not? There we go. So this is going to get a new name called garage. And top of plate. That's fine. And this is based on the 0, 0 of the floor. So now we're going to go to that garage, top of plate. We're going to add a roof in there. And we say roof by footprint. And we'll check our roof properties. Garage plate, everything looks good here. Check on here. Define the slope, 8 and 12. We didn't do that the last time. Hit OK. And I'm going to work my way around. Again, it has to be closed polygon. Now I'm going to change my offset to be 0. And I'm going to put it right on there. I'm going to go in. Oops, wrong one. Bank, bank. Do a little cleanup of this. And do I want, maybe I will go with roof slope on there. I definitely don't need roof slope on the back of that. Finish my roof. Again, the cut line is cutting through my foundation or my roof there, but no problem. We can always sweep over to here. And it's starting to take shape as far as our building goes. And it looks like once we add some windows and actually change some colors and throw some landscape and stuff, will start to look a little better. Now, have we drawn anything on elevation yet? No, but if we go to our elevations, you can start to see here, and in this case I'm in regular wireframe view if I'm saying shading with edges, and we get our colors to work a little better here. Okay, so our elevations, south elevation, okay. The detail level depends, and then we go to the east elevation, which will be the front of the house, okay. Start to see that. And go back to maybe our main floor plan. And now this is where we can start to see some of the time savings. Now, main floor plan isn't showing something. Let's just go to our second floor plan for that matter. And we're seeing down. Let's go right click into view properties of the second floor plan, and let's say we want to see fine detail and underlay. We want to go down to underside of, let's go down to main floor. Underside, let's see, one main floor, hit OK. Okay. So we get a little better look of that in there. And now I'm going to maybe draw a section in here, and you can start to see where some of the power is in Revit, or I can draw a section in that way, and I can throw a section in over here at any point. Double click on that section. Of course, it goes into that section. I've got my box here, which shows me the limit of how that view will be cropped. Okay, and maybe we can zoom in a little closer here. Oh, didn't quite zoom what I wanted to. And this is where our floor system is going to come in. We do floors and windows and doors in the next lesson, exactly where that notch is sitting in there. So we can also go back now to our sections. We've got 2 sections again. Section 2, which was our cross section going the other way, and again we can go into view, shade with edges, start to get a little better look at what's going on in our building. In this case it's our drywall that's showing our colors. So that's really what we're talking about as far as is walls and roofs go, and we'll come back in the next section and we will do floors and windows and doors.